everybody. Welcome back to Calithon 2019. We're going to start now with our run of Titanfall 2 with Bryonato. Take it away.
Hi everybody, I'm Bryonato. This is the single-player DLC for Apex Legends. We're going to get right into it here. Titanfall 2, by the way, this custom menu is created by Taskanos. Thanks for that. In case you guys don't know, Apex Legends and Titanfall 2 do take place in the same universe, and I'm going to be making a lot of Apex memes throughout. On my couch, I have the entire Titanfall 2 community. You guys want to introduce yourselves? Cool. All right. We will get going here. So time will be, or I'll tell you when to start. We have to load in first here. All right, so 3, 2, 1, go. So Titanfall 2 is a futuristic military FPS made by Respawn Entertainment. It takes place in the far future, we're not exactly sure when. It is the coolest speed game you didn't know existed. It runs on a modified version of Source Engine. And so because of that, we have things like air strafing and V-hopping. And you combine those with a fully fledged like parkour-esque movement system. It gets really cool really quickly. So what we're going to be introduced to right off the bat is the most important speed tech in the game. This is called slide hopping. It is mechanically almost identical to V-hopping, except we're going to be crouching instead of standing when we jump. So when we have any amount of speed and we hold crouch, we're going to initiate a slide. And from that slide, if we can just jump instantly, and we can basically maintain our speed indefinitely. If you combine that with air strafing, you can actually gain speed as you do it. I have an audio cue right here. Can't grab the wall until he says a certain dialogue line there. So we also have a double jump, which we're going to get here right about now. And then we also have a wall run. So when this game plays at speed, it looks a bit like Mirror's Edge meets Half-Life 1. It's pretty nice. Also wall jump, of course. This is your generic tutorial segment for like any military FPS where it teaches you the mechanics. I grabbed a rocket launcher, which I'm going to use to boost myself here momentarily. And we're going to skip a reload animation, take out the targets. So this type of damage boosting is only going to be available in this part of the game because we're in a simulation. So we can't actually die. As well as this frag boosting that we're going to be doing right here. We're having grenades explode in our hand, which boost us. And if we did this at any other point in the game, we'd die. But we're going to be fine right now. We will be doing other forms of frag boosting later on, but they're going to be a lot more risky and a lot more precise than that. So that was a really good gauntlet. A 15-second gauntlet is zoom in. And so now by exiting the gauntlet and re-entering it, we skip a bunch of this guy's dialogue. And now we can kind of continue through the rest of the mission here. The rest of it is just kind of like waiting for some dialogue, so it gives me a bit more time to explain what's going on here in the game. So you'll notice when I touch the wall, I'm going to be jumping off of it almost immediately. This is called a wall kick, and a wall kick, the speed boost you get from it depends on how fast you jump off the wall, the angle you approach it, and the angle you're looking when you jump. So it's kind of similar to a Mirror's Edge wall boost in that way. There's 3 different windows where you can jump off the wall, 5 frames, 3 frames, or 1 frame, and depending on which one you do, it indicates how much speed you get back. I'm going to try and do a little glitch here. I don't know if I'm going to get it. This doesn't actually save any time, but it looks really funny. If you stand on where you call in the Titan, sometimes it'll come in at an angle. Yeah, I think we got it, wherever he is. He's completely underground. There he is. We found him. So if you call down the Titan and then like stand on the spot where you call him in, we'll get to Titans later, by the way. I'll explain those. Comes into completely the wrong angle. So to give some context to what's going on here, you play as Rifleman Jack Cooper. He is a just low-end rifleman grunt, and he fights for the militia. And we're fighting back against the IMC, or Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation. They're a big, evil corporate conglomerate that goes from planet to planet across the frontier, which is kind of like the galaxy which this game takes place. And they take all the resources from all the planets, drive people from their homes, and so we're the people that are fighting back against them. Lots of foreshadowing here in this open cutscene, maybe even die on it. We're being trained by this guy, Captain Lastimosa. We don't really know why. It's alluded to, there's like implications that he sees something in us, but we never actually find out because he's just going to die in the next level. Also, my voice is going to crack, even though I'm 26 years old. Hello. I'm drinking lots of water, but for every voice crack, if people want to keep track, I'm going to donate $5 after the run. So that was the Pilot's Gauntlet. That's the first mission of the game. It went really well. A 15-second gauntlet in a marathon is pretty sick. So this game can be pretty reset heavy on that first level just because its frag boosts are hard and it can be easy to make mistakes. So for all of its pros as an amazing speed game, the biggest, I would say, I guess, con or drawback to Titanfall 2 is there are unskippable cutscenes. So this first mission in the game has like really the only really long cutscene, but it is like, or I guess, sorry, the second mission in the game. It is the second mission in the game, so it's also really, really hard. So what's happening here within the lore is the militia were coming to this planet called Typhon, not Titan, Typhon, to investigate some sort of IMC research facility there, which you'll actually be able to see in the bottom left corner. That's like the final location of the game. They're going to go investigate it. They found out they bit off more than they can chew. Now we're crash landing behind enemy lines. So there he is. That's Jack Cooper. Voiced by Matt Mercer, who also did McCree in Overwatch, as well as a lot of other games. Fun fact.
Mind if I can really quick?
Go for it.
So we just hit $12,000, everybody.
Nice!
And donation put us over line is $50 from Caboose.
Caboose!
12K hype? Hi, Beach. It's me, Caboose. Call this towards killing Marvins.
Thank you for donating to Kill the Marvin. Save the frames, Kill the Marvin. So we just got pumped full of a bunch of drugs, and now we're gonna get back out into the battlefield here. There's like a really small skip, quote unquote, we're gonna be doing. If you go fast enough, you can skip having to wait for this drop pod to crash land. Sometimes like these guys can run in front of you, but that you can hear it landing behind us. We got past it pretty easily. We're gonna grab the R201, not the R301. The R201 just because it's a bit more accurate than the weapon we had there. And this is the infamous 18-hour cutscene named after the dialogue that takes place in it. It's one of the longest cutscenes in the game, and so we have plenty of time to get to know everybody. So this was Lastimosa. This was the guy that was training us before. He's going to come save us and give us some more drugs. And we're also going to get to meet all the main enemies that we're going to fight in the game. We probably do have time for like a donation before I get into the next part. So.
Good, because you have a lot of donations to read in this case. So, we have $21.51 from The Moon, saying, Titanfall 2 is a game more people should give a shot. Good luck at the run, Bryo.
Thank you.
Also had $5 from Neo to Brio saying, good luck on the run, Bry. I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Thanks. So coming up here, or I guess what's happening here is we're meeting the main adversaries we're going to be fighting through the game, which aren't necessarily IMC. They are the Apex Predators. They are an elite group of mercenaries. They just fight for the highest bidder. And so the IMC has hired them to protect whatever they're working on here. We're going to get to meet almost everybody that we meet in the run here. So this is Richter up front. Over on the left is Sloan, and this is Blisk. I love Blisk. 18 hours. That's the dialogue that the cutscene is named after. I wish Blisk was my dad. I just like him a lot. His voice acting is very good. So, shout outs to JB Blanc. And that is an ear he cuts off, by the way. That's on his dog tag. He cuts off his ear. I thought it was a dog tag for a very long time. So we're almost to the gameplay. I promise. We're gonna wake up. This guy on the right's gonna kind of slide into our DMs here. If you watch on the right side of the screen, whoop, there he is. Probably time for another donation, honestly.
Yep, I got one that's very relevant right now. So, the $20 from Taskinaz saying, we have 18 hours. 18 hours for the speedrun is over. One more quick one as well too, it's relevant. We have $10 from Kenneth saying, we have 18 hours. 18 hours till talk to Skip. Winky face.
Nice.
Good run, Bry.
Thank you guys. So, what's gonna happen here is, Lastimosa is going to fall out of his Titan and die, but the speedrun canon is that we shoot BT till he pukes at Lastimosa, and then we kill Lastimosa and steal his Titan. So we'll be talking a lot about speedrun canon. It's just kind of a fun little joke we have in the community. So what's happening here within the context of the Titanfall universe is actually a pretty big deal. Pilots are like the best of the best. They go through rigorous training. Only like 2% of people pass the training. They're really, really skilled. And so for a pilot to be transferring control of a Titan to a person like Cooper is completely unheard of. So it's a big deal, to say the least. So now, after we cover Lastimosa in some rocks and then put on his helmet, Now this is where the run is really going to take off. So BT 7274 is a really difficult level. It's really, really hard. You can see all these rocks and geometry around there. They're all gonna have their own geometry, and I'm gonna have to avoid all the bumps. So I will do my best to commentate through here, but keep in mind the segment is really technical as well. So we put on the helmet, and finally we're off. So we're gonna jump backwards twice and then grab onto a wall here that allows us to jump off it, and we can kind of skip having to wait to sprint there. Now this is already frustrating. So we grab the EVA 8. You're going to, again, recognize this gun from Apex Legends. It's a lot better in this game, and it is amazing for the speedrun. The EVA 8 has a really high rate of fire, really high damage, and of course, since we're going to be going fast, we're going to be in people's faces a lot. This is just going to deal out DPS very quickly. For this opening segment of the game, we actually don't have a double jump, which is what makes it so difficult. Our jump kit is quote-unquote calibrating. And so we only have a single jump, and it makes any mistake here really, really punishing. So this segment here is going to be coming up. It's going to be called Death River. It's not going to look like a whole lot, but for newer runners, this section is really, really hard to learn, mainly just due to that's geometry I was talking about right there, and more geometry right there. Just kind of due to how everything is spaced out, and it obviously did not go very well for me here. Normally it's supposed to be a lot more fluid, but things happened. So I still only have one jump. You'll notice while I'm going through the air, I'm kind of slaloming. This is called, I'm doing what's called air strafing. This is a staple in basically any Source game, or if you've seen Quake runs before too, it's going to be similar. It's based on the concept that you go faster and move farther when you're kind of moving in an arc through the air. There's a speed cap when you hold forward, but you can kind of subvert that speed cap by holding sideways in the air, and that's basically what I'm doing in like really simple terms. And so now I finally have my double jump back, which is nice. Get a nice slide through there. What we're trying to do right now is we're collecting batteries to put back in that Titan that died, or not died, but is currently powered down. Titans run on batteries in this game. It's kind of interesting, but BT, that Titan that is back there, needs 3 of them. What I did right there is called a slant boost. If you get a slide boost on a really sharply angled surface, the game just gives you a bunch of speed really quickly. That grenade is very carefully placed and kills all 3 of those guys, which we need to do to install the battery here. And now coming up, we have a skip called River Jump. This saves about like 8 seconds of gameplay just by jumping across this gap here, and then we kind of climb an invisible staircase. There we go. And now we have the first frag boost of the run. This one's called Josh Frag, named after the guy that found it. Could kill me, actually. Nope, we're good. So as you can see, a little bit risky. Now this segment here is called Ravine. This is just a bunch of wall kicks, back to back to back to back. And it's very difficult. One more big jump. And now we're into encampment, which is another difficult segment. I don't have a ton of speed coming in here, so it shouldn't be too difficult to navigate through. The most important part is just getting a B-hop off of the debris here, which I got, and the wall kick, very nice. So you can also B-hop in this game, but the timing for B-hopping is way tighter than it is for slide hopping. Slide hopping is generally a bit more versatile piece of movement tech, mainly because you get a slide boost if you meet a certain speed threshold, and also because you can slide for a brief period of time without losing too much speed. The optimal strat through this part is just a mass jump. You can probably hear my spacebar clacking right there. Spacebar clack ASMR. And then we have the final battery and another slant boost. This one is a lot more difficult than the other one. It's very precise. Not going to get it. That's fine. I have tons of backups for this segment just because there's so many things that can happen with that slant boost. So now we have 2 grenades that we're going to place very carefully.
Has been compromised.
Right there, and then about here. Nice. Perfect. All right, so that's a really, really precise clear, especially that second grenade throw. You can't actually see. I don't actually know where that guy spawns in. I just know that you throw the grenade there and it kills him. So a lot harder than it looks, to be honest. So now we finally got BT powered up. Hi, BT. He's going to be our buddy for the rest of the game. So Titans in this game are probably most easily compared to a hero in like a MOBA or a class-based shooter like Overwatch, or a hero from Apex Legends. Wow. We're going to be picking up different Titan loadouts through the game, and different Titan loadouts basically are kind of like different characters with different abilities, with strengths and weaknesses. So I'll be talking about some of them as I pick them up. This first one here is going to be Expedition. This has a multi-target missile system, has electric smoke, which is kind of like a smoke screen that also has electricity in it, and does damage over time. And then we also have the Vortex Shield, which we'll see very shortly here. The Vortex Shield catches bullets and shoots them back at enemies. If you have seen the sci-fi movie District 9, the 2009 film, it's actually directly inspired by what you see at the end of the movie there.
That's such a great movie.
It's a great movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah.
Same here, honestly. It's so good.
Also, Blisk, the main antagonist in this game, is loosely based on the antagonist in District 9 as well. So lots of District 9 inspiration in this game. It's pretty sick. So there's not a lot of randomness in this game. This is one of the only truly random segments in the run, just due to how the Vortex Shield can shoot bullets back at enemies. We didn't get the best RNG here. It's okay. Most of the randomness in this game is just based on enemy movements. There are maybe only 1 or 2 segments that actually have like things that can go crucially wrong to cost you lots of time. But this was a pretty average RNG segment for Titan tutorial, just teaching us how all the mechanics with this Titan loadout works. So I guess this is sort of like the first boss coming up, quote unquote. It's just going to be a quick Titan fight. You're going to see I'm only going to talk to BT when it's faster too. I'm sorry. People always get very upset when I don't talk to BT, but it's not fast. So this is just a Titan dropping. We're going to put down the electric smoke to do damage over time. We're going to shoot him until he puts up his Vortex Shield. Thank you. Let's charge up the missiles, shoot him, and then shoot him some more. Cool. There we go. So I'm going to be shooting at the red spot in the middle. That's the crit point. Every Titan's going to have that. So now I'm waiting for a certain dialogue line before I'd advance. Otherwise, BT puts the waypoint in the wrong spot.
Of survival is to uphold our mission of rendezvousing with Major Anderson. Until then, you and I are on our own. Marking your HUD.
That can be really, really frustrating because you can be on good pace and then you go a little bit early because you're excited and he puts the waypoint on the other side of the map. You lose like 5 seconds. So I think that was probably an in-game time. I think that was sub 16 coming out of BT, which is going to be very fast. So the difficult part isn't over yet. I mean, it never really is, but especially not at the beginning of the game. This first act, these first few missions are super, super hard. Blood and Rust is not really any easier than BT. So this level's different, or this level's hard in its own way. But first off, we'll talk about Titan movement a bit. Titans cannot jump, but they can dash. You can see my dash is charging in the bottom middle of the screen there. I'm going to have 2 dashes at any given time. I'm going to always have 1 charging, and I'm going to want to dash when I go off a ledge or around a corner. Also, if I dash at the right time here and press crouch, I can retract my legs and slide over the top of that tone. That's pretty nice. The tone is another Titan loadout, which we're actually going to pick up right here. So there it is. We want to dash when we come around corners because BT kind of throws his weight around corners and tends to slide, and dashing will counteract that. So now, next up is a trick that I am infamous for missing at marathon events. It's honestly pretty hard. This is just called disembark jump. If I press jump at the right time coming out of BT, I can jump up to the top of this tower here. Didn't get it, as per usual. Nothing new there. It only saves about a second, but it looks nice when you hit it. Okay, so I need an audio cue here. There we go. So this level is just tons and tons of tight corridors and very tight movement. While BT is difficult because of the geometry, this level just has a ton of tight hallways that will punish you if you mess up your input here. So here we got 2 wall kicks. And this is a brand new strat coming up here. This is going to use another frag boost that actually has a really high risk of death, but I mean, why not? Go for it. I technically got the frag boost, but the grenade exploded below me, not actually behind me, so I didn't get the boost I wanted. So I'm just reverting to the old strat here. It was close. If I'm being completely honest, my mouse slammed into my keyboard as I was trying to strafe around the corner, and I couldn't get the full strafe I needed. So here we come into, this is hallways. That was really clean. And then we're going to run off this pillar here and then get a wall kick on the right wall, which is basically invisible. Going to cloak here so we don't get shot at by these stalkers immediately. They will slow us down if they shoot us. Not every bullet will slow you down when it shoots you, but if a weapon is projectile instead of hit scan, it usually will. A little bit of RNG through there with how the grunts move, but so far so good. We're not out of the woods yet. This segment can be really, really tilting because people can run in front of you like that. That was close. So now coming up, we have one of the first huge skips in the game. There's a lot going on here, but I need to talk about the skip. So what's coming up is going to be Sludge Skip. And so this is going to skip the first huge wave fight here. This was found pretty early into the game's into the game's life cycle. I started running this game 2 months after it came out, and we already had the skip. So you'll see that BT standing right there. We're going to manipulate his dialogue to keep him standing there, but he needs to say a certain dialogue line before we get to him, but not too early, because if he says it too early, then he walks away from the fence. So there's kind of like 3 different things that we're juggling here, more or less. And if we just jump across this gap here, mantle onto here, and then get into BT after he says marking your head, that is sledge skip. So first big skip of the game. Thank you. It's pretty simple in its execution, but for new runners, it can be pretty brutal. So now we have BT, and we also have another Titan loadout that's called Tone, which we're going to use for the first big boss fight coming up here. So Tone gets partial missile locks whenever you shoot an enemy, and if you get 3 missile locks, then you get to launch a barrage of missiles. And you can stack missile locks on multiple enemies, and we're going to take advantage of that here. I'm also going to be using a piece of speed tech called swap reloading, where if you swap from a Titan loadout and then back to the one you were using, it's actually faster than reloading by about like 0.75 seconds. Also, this is Kane. He's not really important. He's just going to die here, and he's kind of cringy if I'm being honest. So. Let's swap reloading there. So all Titans have ultimate abilities as well, also called cores. And Tone's core ability is that he launches a huge barrage of missiles, which is what I use there. And so that was Kane fight. It's pretty straightforward. The only thing I'm really kind of balancing during that fight is Kane puts up a big flame shield that negates all incoming damage. And you want to try and stagger your DPS so you can kind of bait out his flame shield and then hit him in between it. So anyway, that is Kane fight, and that's Blood and Rust. Oh, honestly, this run's going pretty well so far. The only mistakes I can really think of were like that I had a really bad Death River in BT, and I messed up the frag boost in Sniper Canal. Everything else is going really well. So we have some dialogue to sit through here if we have any more donations at the moment.
Why, yes we do. We have $25 from Pompey606.
Hi, Pompey.
Let's go, Bryonato. Bart got me into speed running this game with his amazing commentary and awesomeness. Thanks, Bry Heart.
Thanks, Pompey.
We got $5 as well, too, from TinyTim78 saying, "Hey, y'all, how you doing for the amazing Bryonato and his Titanfall 2 run?"
Thank you, Tim.
I first saw his run at GQX last year and have been a fan of Bryonato ever since. Good luck on the run. Nice to see you at Calithon. Cheers.
Thanks, Tiny Tim. All right, so here we are going into the Abyss. This is the first mission that's broken up into 3 different segments, or rather 3 different missions, I should say. This level is almost entirely Titan movement, so this is again going to be primarily the boosting around corners, boosting off ledges. You can actually airstrafe in Titan as well, which is pretty sick. So you'll see when I'm kind of moving through the air, I'll kind of be strafing to the left or to the right and getting that air acceleration that I need. So we just picked up Scorch, and Scorch is I mean, most of the Titans we pick up are important, but Scorch is the most important Titan as far as combat goes. He just does a ton of DPS at close range and does a ton of AoE damage as well. So very, very important Titan. So you're going to hear Ashe talking. Don't worry about Ashe. We're going to end up skipping her fight. So she's another one of the Apex Predators, but she's actually going to live even though we're supposed to kill her. So coming up after this little segment here, you'll see that we're in the middle of an assembly line. I'm going to kind of cheat out the assembly line by storing my dashes after I hit a certain trigger. This is going to allow me to get ahead of the assembly line, which is going to kind of boost me down the hallway here. The timing for this is really precise, and it carries a high risk of death. I think I got the good one, though. Oh, perfect. Beautiful. So that, again, doesn't look like much, but that's a really tight trick. There's a few different variables that can happen there, and that's the fastest version. We have to kill these 3 Titans before to open the door behind us, and you can see Scorch at work here. This is why he's so important. Kills 3 Titans in like 3 seconds. Really good. We're going to pick up Brute here. We'll be seeing Brute a lot later on, but for now we're going to get out of BT. I'm going to do what's called an extended slide hop here to get over the top of this fence, maybe. Nice. So an extended slide hop actually gives you an increased vertical jump from just, instead of when he would just like jump off the ground instantly. I'm kind of messing up my movement here, that's fine. And then fun fact, when you press this button on this bridge here, it actually removes the kill plane at the bottom of the level, so you can just fall all the way down here. And it's about a second faster than just waiting on the bridge. So, that is Into the Abyss Chapter 1. This run is going I would say excellent so far, especially for a marathon run. Excuse me. So now coming up here we have, oh, thank you. So this next level is a beautiful tragedy. This is Into the Abyss Chapter 2, and it has all this insane, awesome movement you can do because there's a lot of moving parts happening in this level, and we're going to be using those moving parts to boost us. But it is an auto-scroller. I hate to say it, and it breaks my heart, but this level is a big auto-scroller. I talked a bit about the assembly line that we're stuck in. We're going to be tied to the speed of the assembly line more or less here. I'm going to go for a really ridiculous, over-the-top, stupid, risky swag strat here. I mean, why not? If you remember, I almost got this at GDQX. I was actually practicing this for no good reason other than that I want to hit it. I'm going to pick up the Spitfire. You're going to recognize this gun, again, from Apex. We'll see if I can get it here.
I have important time presentation, by the way. You have $10 from Taskinov saying, go for Swaganaz, and I'll donate another $10.
Oh, okay, so I missed it. I'm sorry, Tasky, I went for it.
No.
Yeah, as far as that swag strat goes, either I get really close or I don't get close at all. It'd be like that sometimes. So that's fine though. We get to show off another route instead. So this is the really, really safe, easy route. This is called Told Spice route, named after the guy that found this years and years ago. So this is kind of like a detour around the entire outside of this level. It's really safe. It avoids all like the moving parts and risk of death. You'll hear BT talking about like, be careful, this place can crush you, and you're just kind of like, okay. So we're going to come around here. And so what's coming up here? This is going to be really important. We're waiting for the level to catch up to us, so we're going to play a little mini game. We're going to do a little something called red versus blue. So I'm going to kill all the enemies in this next segment, except for 2 robots. One of the robots is going to be red, and one of them is going to be blue. So in chat right now, I want you to vote for either red or blue, and choose wisely. We take this really seriously around here. Where did that guy go? Okay. Your ultimate reward is going to be completely trashing on the people that choose wrong. So let me kill all the enemies first here, and then we'll get to it.
Seen a lot more blues than red so far.
I'm going red myself. Red is like, I think we have somebody in my chat that keeps track of this, and I think in like her all-time stat tracking, blue has like 5 or 6 more wins than red. So gotta go for the underdog. Okay, I think we got all the enemies here. There we go. There's the last one. If he'll die, please. Nice aim, Brian. Thanks, dude. All right, so this is so blue will be on this side, red will be on the other. It's a fight to the death. We'll see what happens here. Again, we're not losing any time to this. We're just waiting for the level to catch up to us. So blue's looking for red. He doesn't know where he is. I'm not sure where red is either. There, I think red knows what's going on. No, blue doesn't know. Red's going to start taking a shot. Blue doesn't realize in time he's going to backtrack. He's trying to get in position. Red's got a few shots on him, but this could go either way. Blue's landing hit 2. He's got to reload really quick. We don't know what's going to happen. Blue gets staggered. This is going to be a close one. It just comes down to who lands their shots. I don't know what's going to happen here. Is that it? Oh, it was almost a draw. Red wins by the skin of his teeth. Let's go, Red. Give me a fist bump, man. There's a fist bump. Very nicely done, Red. That's 2 marathons in a row that Red is a victor, so I'm pretty happy about that. All right, so now that was just in time. The level has caught up to us here. And so now we're chilling on this platform for a bit. I'd say we have time for 1 or 2 donations if we have any.
We have plenty. So we got $25 from Prolix saying,
Prolix!
My dude, good thing you can time travel in this game because there's that 18-hour cutscene. Knock him dead.
Shout out to Prolix, my favorite GDQ host, and he was hosting for GDQX when I ran this.
There's also $5.37 from Tough Hunter. Spare the Marvin's life, but crush his soul.
I'm so disappointed in you, Tough Hunter. All right, so this next trick
by the way, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, keep up the awesome, as usual, commentary because we need some clips to go with the spread montage.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you. So the next trick coming up here is called Dome Launch. This was found by Taskinaz. You've heard him donating over and over. He's like he's the genius of this game. He's found a lot of the big skips. So when platforms move up or down and you jump from them, you get the speed boost for both the first and the second jump. So this platform's going to rotate up, and we're going to jump off of it at just the right time, and it's going to launch us up to the top here. It's it's an awesome segment, or an awesome skip that saves a ton of time. Ooh, is that it? There we go. Nice. Very nicely done. So that is Dome Launch. Again, thank you for the applause. Found by Taskinaz. It beats the crap out of the old strat we had there. That old strat was so terrible, and if you messed it up, you'd lose like 3 minutes. That one's pretty safe. Saves about 10 seconds over the old strat, and if you die there, it only loses about 15. So, pretty nice. So now we have another infamous skip in this run. This is called Dome Skip, and it's we used to do the skip an entirely different way. We used to do it over there. But then during our submission for SGDQ 2017, one of the developers saw our run and was like, hey, just so you know, I'm not going to tell you exactly how, but you can do that differently. It's like from within the dome. We were like, oh, okay. So if you just crouch right here, this wall right here, you just walk out of it. That's it. There's no collision there. So you're out of bounds. That's it. I like to troll a lot of people in my chat sometimes. I'll like be like, oh, you have to stand on this subpixel and you take 2 steps to the right and then you have to look at this angle and then you walk through. And it's really fun when people bite on it. But that's really, really easy. This is like the easiest skip to do. Then you just go here, you stand here, you line up your crosshair about like this. You don't even really need to do this. This just helps me get lined up properly. Because you can die if you're standing in the wrong spot here. So you just stand here, and that's it. And excuse me. And that's the skip. So now we wait. The screen's going to go black, and we're going to get teleported to an alternate geo. We're not actually going to be standing in the same spot, basically, when we come back. And we hop onto the end level trigger, and we're through. So that is Into the Abyss Chapter 2. And now,
I have actually a follow-up from earlier. $10 from Task I was saying, at least you tried.
At least I tried. Thank you, Tasky. Thank you. So here is Into the Abyss Chapter 3. This is probably the toughest of the 3 levels. Lots of weird caves and hard geometry here, and this is actually home to another brand new strat I'll be going for. If I can wall run, almost got it. I can wall run on that rock there and kind of get ahead. Coming up here, this is a skip called Cylinder. Excuse me. Hello. What is geometry? Hello. Okay. If I can press that button and then get ahead on the cylinder, I can actually get inside of it as it rotates around, which we're not supposed to be able to do. Shoots me around to the next side, and then this strat is called Decept Caverns. It's really new, so forgive me if I like completely butcher. I've already lost a lot of speed here. I have to like get ahead and then slide here, and then get ahead of this platform here. There we go. And I get a huge speed boost. And I get a wall kick. Nice, and then a bunny hop here or a wall jump. That works. There we go. Okay, cool. That went well. I was really worried about that. That's a really new strat. So it's not super difficult. I mean, it's kind of hard, but I'm on practice with it. So now we are in BT again. I'm gonna try and keep my shields down here so that I can get punched by these guys. I can't. Oh, my shields went up. That's too bad. If I can keep my shields down to that segment, I could get punched by one of those titans and it'll give me a damage boost. I can't get a damage boost if my shields are up. So this is this is the second and last out of bounds skip in the game coming up here. The rest of the run is all in bounds after this. If we fly into an unintended location, which this titan can do, this titan can fly, we're going to fly into an unattended location, and then when we disembark from BT, the game is going to put us in the only other area that's close by where we can stand up, which just happens to be out of bounds. This was found by Taskinos, by the way. And I'm going to go for a little trick here called hoverless. If I dash at the right angle there, I cannot have to hover, but didn't get it. So another fun alternative name for this skip is Solitaire Skip, due to the artifacting that's going on over there. So this is skipping the Ash fight, and I'm actually running around the entirety of the trigger to begin Ash fight. You can still trigger Ash fight while you're up there, but we just carefully kind of walk around the razor's edge around it, and we're through. We do another disembark clip to get through another wall there. And then fortunately, the only reason like we started looking for the skip is because we found out through some really roundabout way that the end level of trigger still exists here. So I believe it's only Abyss 2 and Abyss 3 where the end level trigger is present through the entire run. So that's Into the Abyss 3. That level's kind of a hidden boss of the game. It's pretty short, but it contains like 3 really difficult strats. So now, if you've played through Titanfall 2, this level you're going to be like, oh yeah, I remember this one. So this is the level that anybody that's played through the game tells their friends about. Titanfall 2 is amazing as a single-player game, and a big reason is because of this mission. So if you've been listening to BT talk at all, if you could hear him over my voice just blabbering on, he's been talking about how we need to rendezvous with Major Anderson, get to Major Anderson, Major Anderson. Whoops, I went early there. This is the rendezvous point where Major Anderson is, and as you can already see, something is amiss here. Things aren't right for swapping through time randomly. And right now it's all trigger-based. We can't actually control it yet. This strat right here is kind of difficult. I have to chain 3 wall kicks really specifically. I think I missed that wall kick, so This isn't going to be super fast, but as long as I get on this platform here, it's fine. Yeah, it could be worse. We're going to come down here and shoot that guy in the face. We found Anderson, by the way. Here he is. He is somehow paradoxically stuck in the floor, but like the floor was there in the past, but it's still here in the present, so I don't know. It's just easier if you don't think about it. So we have his helmet, and within pilot helmets, there's a lot of data that Titans can scan. So BT's going to take the helmet here.
Bring me his helmet. I will analyze it.
Here you go, BT. And so BT's going to delve into some lore and plot for us while we go get in position for the next trick. And while I'm doing that, we definitely have time for donations.
All right, so we got $100 from Grand Pooh Bear.
Wow!
Saying Titanfall 2 is the best first-person shooter speedrun. This is great.
Wow, thank you. Yes, I agree.
We also have $5 from Never06 saying, good luck, Bry. For a reminder, Marvin lives don't matter.
Thank you. Thank you, Never. You're right, man.
Also $5 from Boops for Dragon Funds saying, hi, Bry. You should take out Pathfire so you won't be sad. Good luck, Fred.
Thank you. Thank you, Fred.
$5 as well from Fizzy saying, I decided to become a true Bryonato fan and vote to kill the Marvin. You're epic, Bry.
Thank you, Fizzy. Thanks, guys, for all the love. I appreciate that. So this next trick coming up here is just called early zipline. It's not too impressive. BT's going to rip out that pole right there, throw it through there, and we're going to jump on the zipline kind of at the end of the zipline, and like right when the hitbox appears for it. Just saves a couple seconds. The main thing that's coming up here is a trick called FTL, or faster than light. It's kind of tough to explain, so I'll be talking about it like well before we get to it. I'm just going to wait for BT to show me his palm here, and then I can start talking about it.
While you investigate the facility for intel and the
Missing
missing
device. There's the visual cue. And this is really, really easy trick. So FTL, with how the time swaps have been working, in the opposite timeline, we're gonna like stand where a laser grid is present. And when the time swaps back and we're standing where the laser grid is present, the game is gonna shoot us out at a really crazy speed and angle. It's a very timing and angle specific trick, and it's gonna shoot us down the sky bridge. And within the sky bridge, there are a lot of scripted time swaps, and if you go too slow, you basically soft lock the game. But if you go fast enough, you can kind of skip through the time skips. So here we go. Did I get it? This is going to be close. So close. So close. No, I'm just going to go for it. I missed this at GDQX. I'm not going to miss it again, so. This should be it. Dude, give it to me, man. So rude.
You got this.
I'm just going to keep going for it, dude. I got to show this off. This is it for sure, right? There it is. All right, that's FTL. Cool. First try. Yeah, I heard first try in the crowd. You're so right, man. Yeah, so I missed that at GDQX, and it was very important for me to hit it here. So that's a really, really cool trick. It saves 6 seconds if you get it first try. I would estimate I probably lost about like 15, 20 seconds there. So it's not like a super big deal if you miss it, and it makes more sense just to like not keep going for it. But it's a cool trick. I want to show it off. So now we picked up the wrist-mounted device that Anderson was using, and this allows us to travel through time at will. So this is one of like the coolest FPS missions I've ever played. It rivals like Halo 1 Silent Cartographer. It's super sick. So we get the best tooltip of all time, which says press button to time travel, and now we're off. This level is super crazy. We're just like traveling through time at will, and each time, like different timelines have different routes. It just looks really pretty. It looks really sick. There's another voice crack, so count that up. We got the Prowler RNG here, which isn't a big deal. We just go around him, shoot both these Marvins, haha. And then we're going to be able to, anytime there's a scripted enemy movement through a door, we can clip through it. This is a good elevator climb so far. Nice. You press the button. All right, and now we're waiting for some dialogue here. This level is blisteringly fast, but it is unfortunately broken up into these 2 segments by this long Anderson dialogue that's kind of delving into what exactly the IMC are working on here at this research facility. They're building some sort of super weapon that can fold space and time, but they didn't build it. So you'll notice the farther we get into this level, it kind of sounds like this. the plot for this game is going to sound like Halo meets Star Wars, because it is. So I'm just going to wait for him to say Anderson out. There we go. And this is a pretty simple route into the next room. Hit the trigger for the next dialogue. Okay. I'm just going to get lined up for the next segment. All right. So Anderson's telling us a bit more about the arc. We're just kind of chilling right now. I would say you have time for a donation, but this audio cue is going to sneak up on me before I'm ready. I'm sure.
Really quick.
Cool.
This one's empty. The ark must be somewhere. Anderson out.
All right, so now the rest of this level is one of the hardest segments in the entire game. This room coming up after this one here is called Hell Room. It is aptly named for both its color and its difficulty. This is a really, really, really difficult strat. Please make it. Thank you. Oh, so clean. Very nice. One more segment. I'm so happy with that, dude. Let's go, man. Okay, that was like really brutally hard, and that's as good as it gets, especially for a marathon run. It was really, really good. All right, so that's Effect and Cause Chapter 2. Really, really sick mission, and really, really hard. And now we're on to Effect and Cause Chapter 3. This level is really cool, if short-lived. I'm going to be going for another one of those like stupid hard skips that barely saves any time but costs a lot because we're in a marathon. You might be thinking, shouldn't you not go for that if we're in a marathon? Well, I'm going to go for it anyway. I'm going to be going for a really cool trick here actually called Time Stop. So due to the way this level is built, there's actually 2 levels for each timeline, or 1 level for each timeline. And if you initiate an action when you initiate a time swap, you'll actually confuse the game as to which timeline you're in, and it'll put you in the wrong part, or in the wrong map. So time is going to appear as though it's stopped. And when I try to swap to the other timeline, it's going to put me way up in the skybox. And it allows me to clip through walls, quote unquote. And you can see everything's all screwy here because we did time stop, and that was actually really good. So now we're going to do a trick called Ship Skip. So this skip saves 2 seconds if you get it. If you don't get it, it's like pretty brutal, but go for it anyway because it looks cool. So is that gonna make it? Oh, it's gonna be so close. Oh, I got the mantle. Let's go. Woo! Okay. Oh, no, I almost died right there. Cool. So that went. I got time stop and ship skip. That's a success. All right. And so what we've learned, the IMC are working on, is a weapon called the Fold Weapon. It uses this power source that they didn't create, that they found, called the Arc, which they're going to use to create a super weapon to destroy planets. So and they're going to destroy the militia planet of Harmony, and we have to stop them. Woe is me. So we have time for a couple donations.
Yes, please. So we got $10 from Counts saying, "Love the TFT runs, Bry. Keep up the good work and keep going fast."
Thank you, Count.
Also have $10 from, I might mispronounce this, Sweet Rose?
Sweet Bros.
Sweet
Yep.
Rose. Okay, Sweet Rose, yeah. Love you, Bry. 12 hours of work came and stopped me from watching you crush the speed run.
Thank you.
Good luck! All caps.
Thank you, Sweet. Thanks, man. So if you guys were donating to kill or spare the Marvin, it's going to be coming up here very shortly, pretty much after this next level. We're moving on to, and I'll let you know when to cut it off.
Might have to give an update then?
Sorry?
Might have to get a quick update for chat.
Go for it.
All right, so right now currently spare the Marvin is weighing at $8.37. And kill is at $70. If you want to see the Marvin no longer live, then donate for that.
So this level, Beacon Chapter 1, is really stupid, and I hate it. All this geometry you're seeing is suggested. It's not actually what the geometry is. So even if I make it through here cleanly, just remember I only make it through here cleanly because of many, many attempts of me getting very upset on dumb geometry. Trust me, this level sucks. So we're actually doing a pretty interesting, well, a pretty simple dialogue skip here. If you come over here and kill all these enemies and then get back to BT quickly, emphasis on quickly, there's all this dialogue that BT's going to have with the militia troops that are stored up inside that building there. That BT's just going to cycle through really fast. It saves like 45 seconds. It was found by Tron Javolta, so shoutouts to that guy even though he's slow. So now we're going to get back to BT, and he's going to say, threat neutralized. Good job. Just despawns the rest of the enemies. We're going to wait here for BT to put his weapon up on his shoulder so we don't crash. And now it's just going to kind of spam through the dialogue there. Now we picked up Ronin, and Ronin is another hugely important Titan to the run. We'll be seeing him a bit later on. But for now, we're just moving into the end of Beacon 1 here. So that's the level. It just kind of sucks, and it's not very memorable or anything. So we just have some dialogue between Cole and BT to go through here. Cole sucks. He's just going to like repeat everything BT says and generally be condescending to us. Nobody likes him. He's very boring. So if you have a donation or two, be good.
Yes, please. You got $25 from @TheVioletHour saying, what could pull me away from playing Apex? Watch this stream my favorite shooter campaign ever. Dear viewers, haven't played this game yet? Try it. Also join me in being inspired to donate by a great game and a great run.
Thank you.
So $5 from Full saying, 2K RS please, smiley face.
I'm definitely going for kill room skip, absolutely.
Also have $50 from Delta62 saying, I don't understand. When does Diva come into the lore?
Nice. So I would say you're probably good to cut off donations for Kill or Spare the Marvin.
All
Since
right.
now we're at Beacon 2.
So in that case, we are going to kill the Marvin.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I love you guys. Thank you. Save the frames. That's the first time it's ever happened in a marathon. Everybody always goes to Spare. Okay, cool. Thank y'all. So this is Beacon 2. This level is super hyper optimized, and it's really, really fast. It's also home to one of the first big skips that we found after this game was at GDQ. This is like probably the hardest skip in the game. So if it takes me a while, it'd be like that. So I'm going to go hit a trigger down here, and then to save myself some backtracking, I'm going to take a Death Warp, which is going to put me back right in front of where the skip is. And this skip is intense, so that's the first attempt. And I can go for it a few times before I like lose time instead of not going for it. Oh, tell me I got it second try. Let's go, dude. All right. Okay, so what I had to do there was that is a wall kick edge boost. So when you run off the edge of a wall, it'll give you a speed boost. And what I did is I wall kicked as I was kind of in like that leaving the wall edge boost frame. And so anyway, I'm really happy I got that second try. If anybody has tuned into my stream in the past like month, you've probably seen me spend like 2 hours on that trick per stream. So there was a lot of deaths that went into that success right there. So now we picked up the arc tool. This is like a big shooty zappy gun. It looks like the gravity gun from Half-Life 2 kind of. I think it was probably just inspired by that. It allows us to zap things to open doors. That's about it. That's its gimmick. I'm going to go for a faster version of a skip here. This is called Satchel Heatsink. I get it. I'm probably going to die. That's fine. It just kind of looks cool. It's not really like that much faster. And it's pretty risky if you die there. Or it's pretty costly if you die, but if you get it, it looks cool. So I'll just go for it one more time here. And if not, we'll just do it the regular way. This is like the reason I took satchels into this level, because this is like about a second faster than doing it the regular way. And satchels are really, really finicky. They're pretty dumb. They do like, you might be saying like, oh, I can do that in multiplayer. Why can't you do it here? Well, satchels do triple the damage in single player than they do in multiplayer, so that would probably be why. So that skip right there normally saves about 15 seconds. It's just like, it requires you to strafe very carefully around that gap, and we kind of skip having to go into that room on the left there and solve a little puzzle. This fan is going to boost us down this hallway, and we're going to transfer our momentum from this fan into this jump here. It's called fast fans. Off the wall kick again, and then a wall kick there. And if I can get the cadence of jumps right, I can slide up the stairs. I hate you, Tron. So no, I didn't get it. Anyway, that would have been like a really, really good Beacon 2 if I didn't go for Satchel Heatsink, but I'm not too sad about it. It's a marathon run. I go for the cool stuff. So that was Beacon 2. The highlight there is definitely hitting Kill Room Skip second try. That's huge. How Kill Room Skip works is like if you hit it the first try, you save 10 seconds. The second try is about on pace with not going for it, and then the third try you lose about 7 seconds. So it's a pretty safe trick in that regard. It's just really, really hard. So now we got the arc tool, which we're going to use to restore power to the beacon out here, which is like that big satellite dish. We're using that to restore contact with the militia fleet, since we currently cannot talk to them. So Cole and BT are going to go on and on and on about how there's a ton of radiation in the room down here, and you better go quick and don't waste your time. But you can like literally come in here, take a nap, and come back, and you won't die. So I don't really know why they waste so much of my time talking about it. I would say you definitely have time for a donation while I go through this.
Will do. You got $10 from Tron Travolta saying, "Hi Bri, not sure if you're aware, but you're going pretty fast. If you get Stair Slide, donate $10.
I didn't get Stair Slide, I'm sorry, Tron.
You should do it anyways. Anyways, $20 from Gemini saying, "Pretty sure the super weapon that the IMC is developing is the Mozambique."
Nice.
Also, thanks for being the most entertaining speedrunner I know. Great to see you at Calithon.
Thank you, Gemini.
Also $10 from Caboose saying, "Put this towards killing Marvin, Lion Stair Slide." Obligatory frick you, Ron.
I'm really, oh yeah, and thank you guys for killing the Marvin, by the way. It saves like 10 seconds over saving it, so really, thanks again. It means a lot to me.
Let's go saving frames.
Yeah. So now the plot's just developing in front of us. They tried to power up the beacon, and the beacon broke. Wow, what a surprise. And so now it's up to us to go save it. So now we're going to get back in BT. And this next segment here is, if you've seen the run before, you're going to be like, yeah, this segment here. This is the coolest part of the run coming up. We got a little bit of dialogue to sit through before we get there, but this is kind of the iconic Titanfall 2 speedrun segment. So we're going to get back in BT here. Going to swap to Ronin. Ronin has an ability called Phase Dash, which is just basically a third dash, so I'm just going to use it to get a little speed here. Now I'm going to swap to Brute, and so we're going to do more screwy things with Brute's flight ability. So if you disembark from a Titan while it's flying, you're not supposed to be able to do that, actually, but if you kind of like wedge yourself in a corner or near a ledge, you can disembark while flying. And what that does is it reduces your player gravity by 15% due to the way that the game reads gravity with like you flying. So you can see I'm super floaty now. We call this trick moon boots, hence the appearance like you're on the moon. And so what's going to happen here is BT, we're supposed to get over there, but obviously there's no real way to get over there, so BT says, "Oh, I'll throw you." He's supposed to throw us right there, but we have reduced gravity, and we found out that if you hold jump when he throws you, you'll kind of do like a first frame jump off of his hand as he throws you. So the segment is really cool, really hard. I'm going to set up a safety save in case anything goes wrong. Please enjoy Super Fast Ball.
Projectile mass, 89 kilograms. Trust me. IMC dropships headed to your location.
Let's go, dude. We got it. That's super fastball. Not over yet. Not over yet, though. So now we're going to pick up a gravity star, and a gravity star is a shuriken that creates a gravity wall that gives us a huge damage boost when it explodes. So here's the first jump. So this is terminal skip. It saves going to a computer terminal. Saves like 30 seconds. And now, coming up here is, this is, before kill room skip, this was the hardest trick in the game. So it's a gravity star boost followed by a ton of wall kicks. If we skip a zip line, it's called zipless. Here we go.
Uplink targeting module disconnected.
Zulu 1 Kilo 1, move in. Alpha 2, get soldiers on ground. Move it. Zulu 1 6 to Richter.
Come on, please make it. Let's go! Oh man, yo man. Okay, this run is really good. Hitting that first try and back-to-back marathons is all I could ever ask for. Holy cow. All right, so that was, we call that trick, that gravity star boost and then the zipline skip, we call it zipless. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek. Super, super, super cool trick. Really, really hard. All right, and so this fight here is just, this is one of the only like really big fights that we can't skip. you're gonna notice I'm gonna be like looking in random spots that aren't gonna have any enemies, and so what I'm doing is I'm trying to manipulate enemy spawns. So generally speaking in this game, most of the time enemies are gonna spawn where you're looking, and so what I'm trying to do is get them to spawn in areas like right there. He just spawned. So that's what I'm trying to work on. And sometimes they can like when I'm looking back and forth like this, they can spawn in areas I don't want them to. And just got to be careful of that. You can see they're just dropping in. Okay, now I'm gonna get out of the Titan. And I'm waiting for like the base to drop. You're gonna hear like a doof, and that's gonna mean the fight's over. Oh, that's it. Okay, so okay, wow, that was a really good fight. The base dropped. I couldn't even hear it because I was shooting. So this is actually a big skip. It doesn't look like much, but you're gonna hear BT talking about how a throw combined with additional climbing is required. And actually, if we just kind of wedge ourselves between these two buildings here, we can just jump up. And it skips the entire climb. It saves like a lot of time, but it's kind of forgettable just due to the fact that, I don't know, just kind of do it, you know? There's no real effort in it. So now we have fixed the beacon. I'm just laying down some grenades here to get some fireworks for y'all. That doesn't actually do anything. It just like looks kind of nice. Cool, and so now we're going to fall into BT's hand, and he's going to save us, and then we're going to go fight the, technically the third boss, but the second boss we're fighting, we're going to go fight Kane. He's going to give us a thumbs up. Fireworks. All right, so now we're gonna go fight Richter. Did I say Kane? If I said Kane, I meant Richter. I don't remember what I said. Anyway, so now we have Ronin, and we're going to use the phase dash again. And Ronin also has an ability called Arc Wave. And so the spawn manipulation is going to be basically the name of the game in this fight. I'm going to be looking and standing in specific spots to get the enemies to spawn in specific areas. So line up that arc wave there, 2 shots each for those guys. Whoops. Switch to tone here. More spawn manipulation. Three on this guy. 1, 2. I think that guy on my left is still alive, actually. It's annoying. Are you alive? Yeah, I don't know why you're alive. Okay. Next segment.
Anomaly detected. Possible
Stand here and look here. Forces these Titans to spawn. And before we figured that out, this section was like super random. They would spawn on complete opposite sides of the level. It was, wow, I almost died. Whoops. It was really annoying. I'm going to stack missile locks again here. That went well. Okay, so that kind of made up for the bad, whoops, what am I doing? There we go, the bad luck with the Reapers there. So now, this is like the most frustrating cutscene in the whole game. Richter steps out of his Titan, and he's like right in front of you. And like, you can't do anything, you can't hurt him even though he's out of his Titan right in front of you. It's so dumb. Anyway, so the trick for this fight here is you want to do a really high amount of DPS really fast, and that usually forces him to self-destruct. And if he self-destructs, it's fast. If you have to execute him, it's slow. So if I did this correctly, they're cool. Okay, so he's self-destructing. So that was fast. I gotta say, this was like, I mean, if I had my splits going, this might be like a gold Beacon 3. Like, this might be a gold split, because Super Fastball was perfect. Zipless was perfect. The fight was really good. Richter fight had some hang-ups, but man, it was really good. So now, we're going to finally reestablish contact with the militia fleet, and we're just kind of chilling. I'm just going to, I don't know, I'm just going to shoot at Cole because I hate him. And he talks a lot. Until then, we definitely have time for donations while the rest of this plays out.
Sounds good to me. I guess you have $20 from SwaySG saying, look in the run. Let's see Zipless, woo-woo.
You saw Zipless.
We did, yes. We also have $5 from Inhuman Rilo saying, Fast Boy Bry. Hi.
Hi, Rilo.
Solid copy. I hear you guys are still down there.
It's almost a smiley face. Any more?
That's actually it for now.
That's it for now. Cool. So now we're gonna meet Sarah Briggs. She's the commander of the Marauder Corps, which is kind of like a sect of the militia. We're gonna get to know her very well on the next level. But right now she's gonna kind of disapprove of us and give BT a lot of crap.
Wait a minute. Lastimosa linked you to a rifleman?
He linked you to this guy? Do you have any idea what we've been through, Sarah?
Understood. We'll get you transferred to a fully qualified pilot.
Objection. Cooper is my pilot. Our combat effectiveness rating now exceeds 90%.
This guy
Request
voiced
permission
Optimus
to
Prime.
retain this link.
Sounds like it.
It's a little bit, yeah. There's a little bit of Optimus Prime in BT, that's for sure.
Permission granted. That's high praise coming from a machine, Cooper.
I don't need your approval.
Thanks to your scan data of the Ark, we've tracked its energy signature.
All right.
IMC
So a
base
very
right here
successful
on
Beacon
Titan.
3.
We don't have much time.
And now we're
Let's
into
go.
the end game. These are the last 3 levels of the game, and they are nothing to sleep on. What's that figure of speech? Nothing to sneeze at? Is that what that is?
I think so, yeah.
Nothing to sneeze at? Anyway, this level is called Trial by Fire. This is the only level of its kind in the entire game. This is an entirely Titan combat and movement-based level. So I believe the developer code for this game was T-Day, as in Titan D-Day, which you'll see why it's named that shortly. The first half of this mission is it's a really well disguised escort mission. So Sarah, we're gonna have to escort very carefully to a big elevator, and there's like a couple dozen Titans between us and the elevator. So a lot of people think this is random. It's really there are some elements of randomness here, but really what this level is a ton of micromanaging and understanding Sarah's position and understanding what Titans are between her and you and dealing with them correctly. So this is a fun little trick here. So Ronin has an ability called Sword Block, which blocks 75% of all incoming damage, and you're supposed to wait for the the militia to take care of these turrets here. But you can just kind of walk up through the wall that's going to get destroyed, and then get in front of the Titan spawns as they come in here. So there's going to be multiple waves of Titans that come in, and I'm going to be trying to kill a certain wave, or a certain number of enemies and certain Titans from each wave here. So now I might die here actually. This is going to be close. Can I get some batteries? There we go. Okay. So I need to kill this Tone. You die, please. Thank you. Now I need to come back around here and kill this Ion. This one as well over here. So I'm waiting for the next Titan drops. I don't know if they've dropped or not. I can't really tell what's happening. So this is what happens when you kind of lose sight of... Okay, so I just saw the Titan spawn. I'm going to nuke this guy so I don't die, actually. There we go. I was really low health. So this is the next wave that dropped, and I have to kill 2 or 3 Titans from here, depending on how well the first segment went. This is kind of slow, but I'm going to deal with it. I'm waiting for Sarah to say, "Pilot, you're with me," and after I kill these 2 Titans, she should almost definitely say that. So she said it here, but I'm going to kill this Tone anyway, just because I don't trust him. Okay, so now we're going to switch to Ronin, and so Sarah should be in a good spot. Okay, I think she's right there, so I should be okay. That was a little bit slow, but I've had much worse. I'm going to time this arc wave with this guy's animation here so it does damage to him kind of through the shield. Yeah, so we heard her dialogue when she says Elk 4. That means she's catching up with us, so we're in a good spot right now. Yep, there she is. Sarah, please move. Thank you. She's just going to kind of get in the way. She's awful. I've had runs where maybe something doesn't go my way. I lose track of Sarah and she costs me like a minute and a half. That's really rare, but it has happened. So this is just optimal DPS on all the Titans here. This is what's happening. I'm going to switch to this guy, do the arc wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to switch to Brute. Whoops, there we go. Switching to Brute here basically saves me a bit of Titan menuing later on here. There we go, and Sarah's right here, so she's caught up with us. That opening segment was fairly slow, but considering Sarah is right here, this is going pretty okay. All right, and now so this is the elevator we get to, and now everything from here on out is Titan movement, which is pretty simple, but it's kind of cheesy. It's fun. We're gonna actually use the flight ability with Brute to fly up to the top of the elevator here. Just saves a little bit of time.
As far as I'm concerned, you've earned your pilot certification.
Hold crouch to get up there faster. Okay, so now we have Ronin, and so Ronin's ultimate is his sword does a ton of damage, but he also has really quickly recharging dashes, and so with that we can basically cheese this entire segment by just sprinting through it like this. And the way that you build core, if you haven't noticed yet, is by doing damage. And so I'm going to line up an arc wave right here, so I get damage on both of those Titans. Shoot this guy 4 times, and then this guy once, and then this guy 3 times, or twice, that works. And now we have core again. And I bonked into something, that's fun. If this, don't dash in front of me, dude. Thank you. Sometimes that Ronin can dash in front of you and cost you a couple seconds. It's annoying. All right, and we just run past here. And it's basically just a full-on sprint until the end of the level here. Gonna phase through this guy. And then if we get lucky here, we can get shot in the back by that North Star, which will lower our shield. And then once our shield's down, sometimes this guy can melee you, but that's not going to happen. I've only had that happen to me like 2 or 3 times, but when it happens, it saves like 6 seconds. It's cool. If you phase dash into that cutscene trigger, you'll actually have phase dash available as soon as the cutscene's over, even though normally it wouldn't be off cooldown that quickly.
See you soon.
All right, and so honestly, like a pretty decent trial by fire. I don't know what the timing was on that. I forgot to look at the timer before the level started, but that could have been so much worse. So now we're on to the arc. So the way I like to describe the arc to people is, imagine you're playing Apex Legends and you hot drop onto the dropship. And so if you've ever hot dropped onto the dropship in Apex Legends, you know, like when you try and revive somebody, you'll fly up into the air, or death boxes will fly around. Imagine all of that, but in a single speedrun level, and that is the arc. So the arc is just like a huge mess. There's like a lot of really wonky things that happen due to the way that all the ships are flying up and down and left and right, and the momentum that they carry with them. It's really, really brutal. And this is also home to like 2 really difficult skips, both Barker skip and 6-4 skip, which we'll see shortly. This segment is just completely on rails. They're telling you to go do all this stuff like, oh, you gotta like shoot these guys, but I just spend my time shooting Sarah because I don't like her. And so we threw the grenade there as well because it actually, when this next cutscene plays out, when we meet the next boss, it will replenish our grenades. So this next segment, we're gonna meet Viper, who is the next boss. He's like a good anime villain. He's a good blend of edgy and cool. But shortly after that, we'll be doing Barker Skip, and this skip is infamous. It is a extremely difficult, slightly random skip that comes as the second to last mission in the game. There could be a lot of randomness in this skip depending on how Barker's ship moves and how the ship you're jumping to moves. But if you get a perfect frag boost and you time the frag boost correctly, you can normally negate most of that randomness. It gets down to about like a 2% chance of failing it, even if you get a perfect frag if you do it correctly. But this skip is infamous for its difficulty, and it's really, really hard. So I mean, if I get this in less than 5 tries, I will be pretty happy as far as like a marathon environment goes. So here we go. We're gonna be waiting for an odd AQ, I guess, for another 15 seconds here.
Battleship Malta at 10 o'clock, guarding the Draconis. We can't get past it. Cooper, I need a pilot on board the Malta to secure the deck now.
Commander Briggs, this is Blackbird 6-4. We can get him there. BT.
I have no idea where that grenade went. We almost got really lucky. I don't know what happened to the grenade. It didn't go off. It was really weird. I think what happened is the grenade fell off the ship, and then I didn't get a boost from it, so.
I need a pilot on board the Malta to secure the deck now.
Commander Briggs, this is Blackbird 6-4. We can get him there. BT.
It's a bit better. Yeah, not getting that. So again, if I can get it in under 5 tries, I'll be happy. A world record run requires you to get this first try, but
We can't get past it.
I've been having a really difficult time with this lately.
Board the Malta to secure the deck now.
Commander Briggs, this is Blackbird 6-4. We can get him there. BT.
It's a slightly better boost. Man, it's not giving it to me. Yeah, so this is this skip can be really, really tilting. It is possible to be good at this. I am just not good at it right now. I kind of have like a mental block with it.
Malta to secure the deck.
Anybody who's watched my stream will know.
Commander Briggs, this is Blackbird 6-4. We can get him there. BT.
This should be, oh, okay. That's just really rude. The one time I got it. All right. All right. Let's get this skip, please.
Guarding the Draconis. We can't get past it. Cooper, I need a pilot on board the Malta to secure the deck now.
Commander Briggs, this is Blackbird 6-4. We can get him there. BT, we need a fastball.
Okay, I was gonna say if that wasn't it, I was gonna like just end the run. There we go. Okay, so now this is 6-4 skip. You're normally supposed to wait for a 6-4 to get into a specific position, but if you just jump, you can kind of jump off them early, and it's a little bit random depending on their positioning as they come in, but we got it. So that's Barker and then 6-4. So now we are on to the rest of the level, and it doesn't really get much easier. We got that's really good elevator time, honestly. Or timing, I should say. So now you're going to hear our allies talking about how we need to clear out the gun batteries here. If we actually come through and just skip the first 2 but kill the 3rd one, it'll despawn the rest of the enemies. I'm going to go for a hot strat, if I can get it here. We'll see. Oh, I don't have a slide boost for some reason. That's fun. Okay. See, it says gun 1 is down, and like I didn't even do anything. Oh, I killed myself with a grenade. All right, so that's happened maybe 2 times before. So good job, me. Well done. Well done. Okay, so let's try that again with me not messing up the movement from the very beginning. Okay. So you don't have to kill the first 2 gun barriers here, and if you just go through the first ones, it'll despawn the rest. Can I not mantle there, dude? Okay, let's try this again. Did I get him? Okay, so that's what it's supposed to look like. You time the grenade, and then you shoot the guy in the head. Okay, there we go. And that's a really, really fast gun clear. Okay. This is like, this is the definition of like a marathon arc. Hello? They're all dead, dude. Oh, okay, okay, they're coming. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I wasn't sure what they were doing. They were just chilling over there. Okay, so this trick is called early Sarah. Sarah is supposed to come up and like position her ship right here. But if you could just kind of drop off it early and land on the top of her ship. So you have to wait so you don't get killed by the fall timer here. This level does have a fall timer. Or if you fall too long, you die. So we're going to wait for it to even out. Now this next section is, am I going to make that? Yeah, I am. I'm not. Famous last words. Yeah, so you have to be really careful here. Sarah's ship can move up and down pretty erratically, and if you jump off it at the right time when she's moving down, you just completely lose all your momentum. There we go. Okay. So this segment is called Room Clear. This is just a really optimized fight, basically. 2 grenades for those guys, and we're going to come over here and kill these enemies. The allies that drop with us, the 6-4, are going to be scripted to kill a certain amount of enemies here. So as long as we're killing the right ones, we can let them take care of the rest. Get ahead of these spawns here as these guys come up. There we go. And then there's 4 enemies that spawn down here. 1, 2, 3. I don't know where the other one was. I think maybe he just fell into the floor. That happens on this level. Now we have these guys back here. Just throw a bunch of fire stars. And they should say the room's clear when this guy dies. There it is. Okay, so that was like the only good thing that's happened in this entire arc so far. Just a good room clear. Yeah, what you're seeing honestly is pretty it's a pretty good representation of like why this level is difficult and annoying to run. It's very buggy. There's just some weird stuff going on with the way the ships move, and it's really hard. And it's the second to last level of the run, so normally your nerves are running pretty high if you're here on good pace. This is your typical like breach and clear segment that you see in most FPS games, but you don't actually have to do anything. This guy appears just gonna have like a heart attack and die. He's not even gonna get shot. Yeah. And then he just disappears. All right, so now we're gonna use our very masculine data knife to stab and then hack this ship. We are controlling the ship with a knife. It's like this is probably the most convenient plot device on the entire game. So the game wants us to steer ourselves right behind the Draconis here. There's sometimes a crash, or like a bug, sorry, that can happen. Well, a crash can happen here too, but a bug can happen where if you're moving the ship down, when you get to the point where you're putting it behind the ship there, you'll just like die due to the fall timer. And also we have to stand away from the wall because we did Barker skip. There's still like a hitbox on BT's hand where he tries to pick you up, and those can overlap right here, and the game will crash to menu. So you have to stand away, and then you get in. And so now this is Viper fight. This fight is really hard, and it can be really frustrating, but it's one of my favorite fights in the game just because it's really, really skill based. So we're gonna be dealing with Viper and then 2 Scorches. So the first thing we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be using the multi-target missile system on Expedition to get a missile barrage off on them, get some damage in. Now what I'm trying to do, actually, if this guy walks to the edge, I can melee him off. Oh, that was perfect. Okay, so that's a really, really good, that's just good RNG. So now this guy, we're gonna take him out. I'm gonna swap reload. Oops, I messed it up, there we go. Okay, so now I have to deal with these tether traps, then I wanna shoot him 3 times to get off a missile barrage. I'm gonna switch to Ronin and Sword Core. Good, now the missile should come back around and kill him. Nice, let's go, dude. Okay, so that was a good Viper fight.
Commander Briggs, this is BT-7274. Viper is down.
Thank you.
Board the Draconis and secure the arc.
All right, so now we're waiting.
Transfer.
Cooper,
And BT's gonna get ready to fastball us again, but
adjusting.
we're gonna get interrupted. And honestly, this fight is one of my the choreography. This whole sequence casually is just sick. It's so cool. Also, shoutouts to my favorite bit of subtitles in the game, Screams at the very top right here. Screams. And so yeah, this fight here is it's very visceral. It's really violent. It's really well animated. I don't want to turn on sticky keys. No, I would not like to do that. Thank you. As I was saying, this fight's really cool. Thank you, sticky keys. All right, so now if I jump at the right time here and shoot. Whoops. Will you die, please? Will you? Yes, I'm aware, BT. Thanks. There we go. Cool. Okay, so that's Viper. He's dead.
BT, what's the plan?
And so now this rest of the segment is basically an auto-scroller. We're on rails here.
Losing altitude. It is up to us, Cooper.
It is up to us. So if you have any donations, we can probably get a couple in here.
Yes, please. We have $1 from Cars saying, "Love you, Bry." How about that?
I love you too, Cars. How about that, dude?
$5 from Tough Hunter saying, "At least 6 voice cracks so far. Keep it up because charity."
All right, so we're at 30 bucks for voice cracks. I like it.
I think I saw someone say 13 in chat earlier.
It's 13?
I
Really?
think so. Either way,
I don't think it's been 30. I know at 6, I think so, because I know I was at least at 5.
we can go with 6
We'll go, yeah. I mean, now that I don't want to donate more to charity, I'm
Yeah.
just, let's keep it honest here, right?
for sure. We also got $5 from Birdie Bob saying, "Nice nade, Bry.
What was that? Sorry?
Nice nade, Bry."
Thank you.
I cannot reach the arc.
Thank you, Birdie. Shoutouts to Birdie. He also runs this game. Very important to remember to hold W here. There's no prompt that you need to hold W, but if you don't hold W, you'll just kind of like stand here.
Quickly. We need
I've
to
definitely
get
been
off
guilty
ship.
of losing
We're
like
running
4 or
out
5
of time.
seconds because I'm like reading chat or something when this happens.
This way, Cooper.
And then right here, it's 1.3 seconds faster to use both the dialogue options instead of waiting for the dialogue thing or the dialogue box to go away.
Get the arc out of here.
Negative. We are trapped. I will not lose another pilot.
So I am very excited for the next level coming up. We're going to be showing off, I guess Kill Room Skip, but that was the first time it's been seen in the marathon. But even better, I would say maybe even a month ago, a few weeks ago, we found a huge skip for the final cutscene that is both awesome and hilarious, and it'll be the first time we get to show it off in a marathon environment, and I'm very, very excited. So that'll be probably in about 10 minutes when this next level's over. So do you have any more donations right now?
Not right now.
Not right now. No worries. So what happened off screen there is we got captured by the IMC after the ship crash landed. There's Blisk and Sloan. We'll be seeing both of them later.
Titan, you're gonna open up and give me what I want.
And so right now, BT has the arc, which the IMC needs to power the fold weapon trapped within his cockpit.
Can't risk it. The arc's unstable.
I love it. Shoutouts to JB Blanc's voice acting. I just really, really like Blisk. For those that don't know, this is Blisk. He is the leader of the Apex Predators and the guy that, after the events of Titanfall 2, went and created the Apex Championship for Apex Legends.
By the way, they actually get another donation right now if you want to read that.
Go for it, man.
All right, I got $5 from Anonymous saying, "Loving this Titanfall 2 run."
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Titanfall 2 is a really, really sick speed game, and it has a fair number of submissions on speedrun.com. It's definitely like in the upper echelon there, but people generally don't know about it. Mainly just due to Titanfall 2's like muted response. It got tons of critical acclaim, but it was never like a. There were like some issues around its release, which is like a whole thing, and it never got super popular. But it is a really, really good FPS campaign. It's always on sale nowadays, and I super recommend playing it. Even if it's like $5 or $10, it's worth it just for the campaign. One of my favorite FPS campaigns I've ever played. This was actually my first speed game too, so. And now here we are, 2 years later. So, watch Blisk right here. He's gonna do a little twirl, and then he's gonna run away, and he's gonna clip into the floor. It's really, really fun to watch. He's gonna be on the right side of the screen here. He will be blurry, so watch closely.
You died together.
There's the twirl, and then. There he goes. So if you hear Blisk talking, just imagine him like underneath the grate, like, ah. So now here's Sloan. F in chat for BT.
Say goodnight.
Alright, get the arc out of here. We're running out of time.
I just like imagining Blisk underneath the grate. Get out of here. All right. So this strat right here is pretty nifty. This was found by Jetsa. Shoutouts to him. Don't really know why it works the way it does. I'm assuming it has something to do with you almost dying. But if you just walk backwards into the fire and then almost die and then walk forward, it saves like 5 or 6 seconds of waiting for BT to talk to you. So that's pretty nifty. So now BT is going to rip off his face and then give you the innards inside of his face. Inside his head here, there is the Seer Kit, which is, or S-E-R-E, Seer Kit. It is the Survive, Evade, Resist, Escape Kit. And so within it is, if you've played Titanfall 1 or Titanfall 2 multiplayer, you'll be familiar with this. The Smart Pistol, which is, for some reason in this game's multiplayer, it is a pistol with a literal aimbot. It auto-aims for you. And then we have the Data Knife, which we've seen many times throughout this game so far. And so for this first segment, we're not going to have a double jump, and we're going to be going up a staircase. And at the top of the staircase, the game has a really high chance of hitching. You can normally negate the chance of it hitching if you like play through this beginning part before the run, but I definitely forgot to do that. So it has something to do with the way that the game draws the lines attached to the Smart Pistol here. So I don't have a double jump. So this, and then if the game hitches here, what I'm trying to say is the movement here is really hard, just for this beginning segment. Yeah, there's the hitch. So that always happens even on these PCs that are running like i9 2080 setups. So, all right, so this is the beginning of the fold weapon. We have the Smart Pistol here, which is just gonna auto aim for us. This movement is pretty fun, honestly. If this level didn't have such a long intro cutscene, this would be a really fun IO. It is faster to go on that zip line than it is to not. A lot of people get confused by that. I love the movement through here. The wall kicks are just awesome. Kill all these guys. I'm going to do a quick run on the wall. Get a little edge boost there. Really tough movement through here, honestly, to kill these guys and then also hit these wall kicks. These are all... Hit all of those except for the last one. It's possible to do like a fast jump off the wall, but have it not be a wall kick. Like if you don't get speed back, it wouldn't be what we would consider to be a wall kick. All right, and so what we have in our hand here is BT's data core. It has all of BT's data inside of it. And you can put it in like different Titans interchangeably, or different Vanguard class Titans. So this Titan here, which was actually the Titan we called in the beginning of the game in the simulation, excuse me, is now going to become BT. Nice new carbon fiber coat of paint here. Not a coat of paint, but you know what I mean. Nice new coat of paint. Carbon fiber looks good. If you walk around behind him, you can kind of skip some dialogue here. And now we're going to switch to tone. And we're going to build up core as quickly as possible, and then we're going to use sword core again, like we did in Trial by Fire. And so this gives me a chance to talk about the next skip coming up here. Not the one I mentioned before. This one's a bit different. The skip coming up here called Door Skip, which was one of the most important finds in Titanfall 2's history. It's not going to look like much, but you used to have to kill all the Titans in this last segment in this little staging area here to cause this door to open up and have more Titans come through. But there was also like a random chance that one of the Titans that you were supposed to kill would walk backwards through it. And so it was this huge random event that would like save or lose you like 2 minutes. And because of the efforts of an Angry Albino and Enderon, we actually can just go through the top of the door and it opens. So that was and that doesn't look like anything, but that was like one of the single most important finds of this game. There's a bit of a chance of death here, these enemies at the end. You're supposed to be in your Titan for this part, and so these guys all have rocket launchers, so they can like just blow you up. This movement is pretty tight, but all right. But yeah, that was a really, really important find. What's been such a great thing about running this game for 2 years now is any time we find something, it just like makes the game less random. At the point now where the run is like 90% inbounds, and I would say like 95% just based on pure skill. It's really, really sick. So now here comes Sloan Fight. This fight is going to incorporate damage optimization, spawn manipulation, and then the skip will be happening at the very end of the fight, or I guess initiated, I should say. So we're going to hope that BT has all 4 shots in his shotgun, but if he doesn't, that's fine. Not a big deal. It's just like it saves a small amount of time if he has 4 shots. There we go, he does. There we go. So now we're going to do the spawn manipulation here to force these guys to spawn over here. So now I'm going to drop this, do this. Oh, this is interesting. I don't normally get melee that way, but that worked out. Okay, now we're going to force Sloane to spawn right here. And when Sloane spawns, she's invincible for the first like 2 or 3 seconds. It's really, really frustrating. So we have to wait a bit. And now we can go. There we go. So that's the next phase. And it'll look like you can one-cycle her, but you can't. She'll always teleport away. She has guaranteed invincibility at the end of her health pool there. These guys are right next to each other, which is actually sick. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so here comes the last phase, and what I need to make sure to have is full core or full ultimate charge when I kill her. The instant laser core is really, really nice. Thank you. You can see how I had the flame shield equipped, but it wasn't actually doing anything to her. Okay, so here comes the beginning of the skip. So I'm going to switch to Ronin, activate sword core, and then immediately start pulling out the arc injector. And if I did this correctly, if I didn't do it correctly, I'm just going to do the fight again because I have to show this off. I should have my weapon equipped right here. I do. Okay, so here we go. So this is completely unintentional. So you're not supposed to have a weapon out here. And for some reason, when you have it out here, it continues into the next segment when you're looking at BT. So I am so excited to show this off. All right, so now you have your gun out here, which again, not intentional. And Blisk is about to walk over the top of you to get out of his Titan to deliver his final monologue. It's your lucky day, hero. So he just dies. He just frickin' dies. And so now we've successfully made Apex Legends non-canon. You're welcome. So now you have, so this skips all of his dialogue. It skips 33 seconds of dialogue. He puts down an invisible Apex card. And so the cutscene just continues as though he said all of his dialogue. And actually, we're gonna like clip through his Titan here, and we can actually like damage it as we're going through. And so he's gonna put invisible dead Blisk back into his Titan. So we clip through him, and now BT has 4 arms, by the way. Got 4 arms. Reminds me of that, what is it, the Jaeger from Pacific Rim. But yeah, so you can shoot here, you can melee, and you can reload. That's about it. But that skip was actually randomly found by a Reddit user, Shot Andy, and then he posted it to the Titanfall subreddit like, haha guys, I found this funny glitch where you can kill Blisk. I don't have video though. So someone told me about it in my chat, and then I went and tried it out, and I noticed that as soon as you kill Blisk, the dialogue skipped, and everybody just freaked out. Anyway, it's a huge time save. I have yet to get a PB with that skip in. Only because my current PB is really, really good, and even with 33 seconds for free, it's hard for me to stay on that pace. But amazing skip. Anytime we can get through the cutscenes here, or skip through the cutscenes, it's awesome. So thank you, Shot Andy. And we've called that skip the Andy Shot after him. So anyway, this is the final segment of the game. Time is coming up in a little bit here. It'll be about another 45 seconds, a minute or so. Yeah, here we go. So this is the final run.
Goodbye, Jack.
Goodbye, BT. BT's going to sacrifice us to throw himself into the fold weapon to destroy it and destroy the planet and prevent the militia planet Harmony from being destroyed. This final run can have a lot of weird stuff happen, so I hope that we can negate some of it here. So this is all going to be trigger based. I have to be like at certain points in the air to get the next segment to trigger, basically. And there can be some weird interactions due to the fact that, again, there's a bunch of moving platforms, kind of like in the same way that the arc is weird. Gotta be careful not to overshoot there. And then this wall kick is like one of the hardest things to do, only because you land up so high. Here we go. And time. Thank you. 127.39 is pretty good RTA. I would imagine IGT that was probably like a 124. I lost a lot of time doing the Satchel Team Sync, but a good run, especially for a marathon. So thank you guys. I know we're a little bit behind schedule, so I'm just going to go straight into League Glitch Exhibition. So I think the first thing I'll show off is the first one. The first one is going to be really, really hard to execute. So it's going to be a variation of the zip list that I did earlier. I'll give it like a few attempts. If I don't get it though, I'll just go show the other 2 glitches. But bear with me while I try to get this one done because this one is really hard. So let's see if I can grab it here. I need like a really, really, really good graph star boost here. Okay, let's see if I can just do it like this. Okay, so this is sort of it. So you get like, okay. Do I have a double jump? Okay, this might work. Did I miss the trigger? Dang it, I missed the zipline trigger. Okay, let's try that again. That was close.
Uplink module
I need the zip lines to trigger, and I need to get close enough to that last platform to get them to trigger.
The pilot's intentions are unknown. He may be attempting to draw us away from the Titan. Copy that. Zulu 1 Kilo 1, move in. Alpha 2 gets
The fortunate part about this is you get to see this over and over again, which is pretty sick, honestly. Dang it. This is, yeah, so I can't emphasize how hard this is. I'll give myself a few more attempts.
Uplink module acquired. Standing by for your return, Cooper.
Zulu 1-6 to Richter. The pilot's intentions are unknown. He may be attempting to draw us away from the Titan. Copy that.
Do I even have the speed for that? I can't even make that. Okay.
Uplink module acquired. Standing by for your return, Cooper.
Zulu 1-6 to Richter. The pilot's intentions are unknown. He may be attempting to draw us away from the Titan.
Oh, I missed the wall kick. That was a promising one, too. So this will be my last attempt to try and get the zipline trampoline.
Module acquired. Standing by for your return, Cooper.
Zulu 1-6 to Richter. The pilot's intentions are unknown. He may be attempting to draw us away from the Titan. Copy that. Zulu 1 Kilo 1, move in. Alpha 2, get soldiers on ground. Move it. Copy that. In position at beacon 4 gantry. Standing by to intercept.
Caution. Entering.
Dang it. Okay, so I'm just gonna go do the other one. So you can actually, if you go watch the GDQ run on YouTube, I actually end up doing the zipline trampoline at the end during the Glitch exhibition there. The idea is you get a huge platform boost off of that platform, and it launches you up in the air. And then every time that you grab onto this, the zipline here, you maintain that momentum for every single jump. So you grab onto the zipline, then you launch up in the air, you can grab onto it again, launch up into the air. It's pretty neat, but unfortunately it is really hard to execute, and I know we are behind schedule, I don't want to waste any more time going for it. However, the other two glitches I have to show off are really, really sick. So we have to go through this fight as normal, but with a little slight change at the end of it. So if you have like a donation at all to read off during this fight, this is kind of like just the fight like you saw already. Wow, this is a really bad fight. Okay, so now we're just kind of waiting. There we go. So as soon as the fight's over, I'm going to be getting out of BT and kind of getting him wedged in a specific area. So I think I'll switch back to Brute now. And the music's about over, so there it is. Okay. I need to get up here real quick.
Threats eliminated. Area secure. Are you okay, bud?
Now I missed getting up there, so I have to wait for the for flight to to come back. Okay, so let's get up here. Now if I wedge BT in this corner here, and then I disembark, he's stuck like this, so he can't move now. And now we're gonna go do the climb up to the top. I don't have moon boots, so the climb is a bit harder now because if you disembark like after flying again like that, you like lose moon boots. So I have to kind of get into this corner. You can't jump off the same angled surface without like a delay, or the same facing surface, I should say. So you can wedge yourself in the corners and climb up like that. So BT's stuck there. Get some dialogue you didn't normally get it here. All right. So now we're going to go put the module back in the dish. And you might remember the animation that plays out here where like BT he runs over to save us and grab us. But BT's stuck and we're falling. So BT, you gotta save us, dude! So you get caught by an invisible hand. It's like the hand of God. You give him a thumbs up, and then the animation still plays out as normal, and you go, whoop, you just teleport back over here. Super sick. So that's that we call it like the invisible BT, like hand of God glitch. So that one's really cool. And then the other one was one that we saw briefly in the run, actually. This is going to be time stop, but we're going to like really show off just how screwed up this is. So effect and cause for the time shifts, as I explained before, the past is like way down here, and they built the present way up high. So there's actually 2 levels that you're swapping between at will. And if you're able to initiate an action at the same time that you do a time swap, it'll try and put you way up in the sky where the other level's supposed to be, but you'll still be in the same timeline. So you're just kind of like way above the skybox. And the best way to do this is on this guy right here. So if I swap and then initiate an action,
It appears that whatever actions you took in the past have caused the remaining
we can just like go through wall. Okay, I'm stuck in the wall here. Let me see if I can get out of here. There we go. So now time is like basically is stopped, quote unquote. So when you switch time, it actually pauses time in the other timeline. So there's this like, it's super wacky. You can still shoot enemies. They're all paused like this. You can even like, you can do the execution animations. The model stays the same. Just like clip into people. My personal favorite is you come over to this Marvin here. He gets very sad. He does he does not like getting shot. And the most crazy part is, or actually you can even come, I think if you come down here too, you can like cause the drop ships to come in over here. It looks really, really weird. Yeah, here we go. I think a drop ship comes in or something too, like yeah, here he is. These guys are just chilling. It looks super funky. And my favorite part is when you swap and you're above the skybox. So you're just way up here. And you can land up here, you can run around. It's really, really cool. This trick is really, really fun. I believe this was found by Diablade Zat, but anyway, just a really cool manipulation of a really interesting. You can see time is stopped down. Oh, is it stopped down there? Maybe those guys just aren't moving. A really cool manipulation of like a very fun part of the run. So, anyway, that is time stop, and honestly, that is Titanfall 2. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you. As far as like new runner resources go, we have our new runner resources are like some of the best out there. I swear by it because I made them. If you would like to run this game, it's an amazing first speed game. It was my first speed game. It has a really nice learning curve. Our community is awesome. Our Discord is on the speedrun.com page, speedrun.com/Titanfall_2. Thank you so much for watching. You can follow me at twitch.tv/Bryonato. I stream this game almost every day. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of Calithon.